Hey everyone, um, I'm Michael, but you likely know me as MikeTheHuman113 on DeviantArt, and this is my first ever Q&A. And yes, this is what I look and sound like, so fear not if you can't stand my face or the sound of my voice, which I wouldn't blame you for either. I'm gonna be answering the questions in written form below as well. This is just kind of a cherry on top of the ice cream sundae, I guess, the video. So yes, this is my first ever Q&A. I don't know if I'm going to do another one of these in the future, but it's the 1 year anniversary of my time on this site, so I figured might as well do something special to celebrate it. So without further delay, let's dive into the questions, shall we? I've got the questions, oddly enough, down by my feet, so if I ever am looking down, I'm just reading your questions. So yeah. So, Lord and Savior 1023 asks who your favorite actor of all time is. And for me, that's relatively easy. I would probably go with Bryan Cranston. I've seen both his serious and his comedic roles. I've loved him in all of them. And every time he's gonna, like they say, he's gonna show up in a movie or TV show, I get a little excited. That's probably like half the reason I saw Why Him, but you can read my review if you wanna know a little more about that. Next, we got a lot from Anti Sapien. Okay, first from him is, what genre of music do you feel does not get the recognition it deserves? Now, keep in mind I'm not the biggest music expert ever. I pay attention to the Billboard charts. That's about it. But if I were to choose one that doesn't get a lot of recognition it deserves, or is overly hated, I'd probably go with EDM. I feel a lot of people are quick to judge it as like, ooh, it's not real music. It's just like some bleeps and bloops. But no, honestly, in like the past, around the turn of this decade, we've gotten a lot of great acts and great songs from like Avicii, DJ Snake, Martin Garrix, Clean Bandit, Seed. I like all these artists and I like their songs. So if you're not familiar with them, you should check them out. And I feel like if people like took EDM seriously, then they would be getting a lot more attention. But oh well. Next from him is, if a cartoon character was real, who would you marry? Okay, so I'm gonna assume that these cartoon characters have been aged up because I don't want the FBI knocking on my door. But I would go with either Marceline from Adventure Time, Gwen or Dawn from Total Drama, or Jenny from My Life as a Teenage Robot. And yes, I know the latter is a robot. Sue me. Next, also from him, is, do you believe dinosaurs still live other than modern birds or reptiles? No, I don't. Next from him is Star Wars or Lord of the Rings. I have to go Star Wars only because I haven't seen Lord of the Rings or read any of them. It's one of those things, I'm sure I'll get to it eventually, but I have to will myself to want to sit down that long. I'm sure they're great, I just, it's not the time yet. Next one, also from him, I do like this one. The most overrated or underrated film directors working right now. I'll start with overrated. I'd probably go with Paul Feig or Feig, however you pronounce it. Yeah, I already talked about Ghostbusters, how I thought that was widely overrated. I have no idea why that has a 74 on Rotten Tomatoes. That's bull to me, but whatever. And I've been told his other films are overrated. I haven't seen them yet, but on top of that, he just doesn't seem to have a good attitude towards criticisms, and that's something I can't really get behind. But in terms of underrated directors, I would go with Mike Flanagan. Like, he's a horror director, and I'm not even the biggest fan of horror movies, but like from the movies I've seen of him, Oculus and Hush, I like both of those a lot. And last year he directed the sequel to Ouija, and I think I've been told that turned out really good. So I mean, this guy deserves more attention. And I think he's gonna do in the future he's going to do an adaptation of a Stephen King novel, so that should be interesting. Yeah, check his works out if you haven't already. Seriously. Next from him, also we have favorite bands he would want to see in a cartoon. I would go with either Fun or Panic at the Disco. Love both those bands. Yes, I'm an indie nerd. Sue me. Who are your childhood crushes? I'm gonna assume this meant like real life crushes, and in terms of like, they were both actresses. It was like one was Miranda Cosgrove and the other was Chloe Grace Moretz. Of course, I've outgrown both of them, but you know, when you're that young, you'll think anything is hot. What animal would you want to keep as a pet? This is also from Anti-Sapien. And I would want a chameleon. I just think they're cool. You can change colors, and I don't know, they seem like they'd be relatively low maintenance. Also from Anti-Sapien, who would make you faint if you met them? I would go with Christopher Lloyd, of you probably know as Doc Brown from Back to the Future. Although I would make sure to say Great Scott first. Gotta emulate the ending of the second movie. Next question from Anti-Sapien is, if you had a chance to voice act, what cartoon would it be? Keep in mind for this question, I'm just going off how I feel my voice and personality would fit in a cartoon, so this isn't necessarily my favorite cartoon, but I'd go either Total Drama or Rick and Morty. I do like both those shows, and I feel like my voice would work well on either of those. I was originally going to say like The Loud House, but who the hell would I voice in The Loud House? And the last question from Anti-Sapien is opinions on LGBT parenting. I'm not exactly sure what you mean by this question, but I mean, I don't know. I think they're good parents. Okay, next one is from Copper70. Do you agree that Cartoon Network went downhill in mid 2004? Keep in mind, I only got into Cartoon Network in 2011, so I had to do a little bit of research for this one. But yeah, I can pretty much attest to that. They did get a few new good shows, but a lot of their like the classic cartoons were kind of ending and or going through seasonal rot. So yeah, I would say yes. Okay, next is from Vimy Vim. Would you rather drink orange juice expecting it to be milk, or milk expecting it to be orange juice? Okay. I would go with orange juice expecting it to be milk. I just like it more. I drink it at breakfast every day, so yeah. Okay, next one is from RushFan2596. He asks, my favorite and least favorite words. Okay, so favorite word, no, I'm gonna start with least favorite. Least favorite word, belly button. I hate that word so much. It's, no matter what the context of the word is, it's always gonna sound immature, and it's just I don't know, it's a dumb word. No, I don't think that anyone can make it sound good, honestly. There's no context in which you can make that word sound good. I don't even like saying it. That's why I only said it the one time for this question. Favorite word, on the other hand, and feel free to call me immature as much as you want, it's fine. Cunt. I love that word so much. It's almost always guaranteed to get a reaction out of someone, and when used in the right context, it's just perfect. And as long as you don't abuse it or anything, it's because, like, if you abuse any word, you're going to ruin it, but, you know. And the last set of questions come from Joy of Crime Art. Who are some of your favorite villain characters in any medium? Okay, I have a few for this one. From, like, video games, TV shows, and movies. Okay, so, well, I'll just list them off. Dr. Cortex and Dr. Engine from Crash Bandicoot. Negan from The Walking Dead, the TV show. I haven't really read the comics. Plankton from You Know What. Norman Bates from Psycho. The Joker from, again, You Know What. The Lich from Adventure Time. Zuko from Avatar The Last Airbender. Bill Cipher from Gravity Falls, O'Brien from 1984, John Doe from Seven, Darth Vader from, again, you know what, and of course, how could we ever forget Robbie Rotten? Now look at this net that I just found. Okay, no. Next he asks, how old am I? I am 20 years old. Yes, I'm 20 years old, and I think Robbie Rotten is a great villain. And the final question from Joy of Crime Art, as well as this Q&A, is sci-fi or fantasy? I'd have to go with sci-fi. I just like it more. I do like fantasy, fine, but I don't know. I like seeing the cool technology and shit in sci-fi. And yeah, that's basically it for this Q&A. I want to take this time to express my gratitude for how grateful I am. If you've ever, like, if you've even looked at one of my posts, you've contributed to this site. That's like, if you've looked at or given me a watch or favorited one of my things, just I can't begin to thank you enough. The goal of this blog is just to make someone's, it's just to, I don't know, make someone happy, I guess. And whenever I get a notification that like someone responded to a comment or someone favored one of my posts, then it just makes my day, you know? I know that sounds cheesy, but whatever, it's my Q&A. Of course, thanks to everyone who's already watching me. I'm going to give you a shout out. We got Anti-Sapien, Christian Dinosaur, JLop97, Crease, I hope I'm saying that right, Spongy444, Crimson Mayhem, and Starlight G Giantess 5. Thank you all so much. And even if you don't watch me, or you're just here to look at some random guy's thoughts on cartoons and movies, just thank you so much. I can't begin to... I'm sorry to repeat myself, but this is all unscripted, by the way, if you couldn't tell. Well, the Q&A part was. I have that written down, but intro and outro was pretty much unscripted. I look forward to continuing to work on this site, and yeah, I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I'm looking forward to it. So again, thank you so much. If you're watching this, then you're awesome. If you submitted a question to this Q&A, you're awesome. If you're on my page, you're awesome. You're just awesome. Just don't forget that, dude. So yeah, that's pretty much it, and I will see you all in the future. See ya.